Maria beginning her 4th season as a top 10 player, currently at 8 in the world. A couple of years ago she was as high as 3. She's certainly the best female player ever to come out of her country, which is not known for its strength and depth. So what do you think we might see from Maria? You've watched her so much over the years, and I think we've seen a constant evolution of her game. But what would you like to see?
What I would like to see is that she believes in herself in the most important moments, because sometimes I think she gets a little bit carried away, a little bit tight, a little bit nervous. She certainly has the game. We know she has the big forehand, which she plays with a lot of pace, but also with a lot of spin. She can get a lot of free points on the serve. The backhand, I think, is extremely solid. We talked about the physical part, but sometimes she just wants too much and she doubts herself, and that was maybe a little bit of a problem in 2023, especially at the Grand Slams.
Yeah, she did make the 3rd round of the Australian Open last year, losing to Zhu Lin in 3 sets. That wasn't a great moment for her. And then it was 1st round in Paris, Wimbledon, and in New York. It just shows you how well she played on the tour. That she's still a top 10 player without all those major ranking points on there.
So she could easily be number 3 again.
Picked up her 2nd title, 1,000 event, which is sort of the men's equivalent of a Masters in Guadalajara. Possibly thought she might have amassed a few more trophies by now, but that's been somewhat of a stumbling block for her.
Game Grace.
Comfortable hole to open up. Mark, you're with us courtside. Just give us your thoughts on Maria Sakkari and what you'd like to see from her, not just this week, but through the season.
Yeah, you guys have been spot on. Maria is someone who works incredibly hard, puts in the work, and is so hungry, and especially in the Grand Slams, wants it so bad that she doesn't allow herself to play the game of tennis that she's capable of playing, and puts so much pressure, and it's just been getting in her own way, you know, and it's becoming very mental for her. And hopefully this year, it'll just, you know, I would just want her to allow herself to play and be a little more relaxed. I understand there's always stress in Grand Slams, but I mean, it gets to a level where she's so stressed that she literally cannot even swing through the ball. So we know the player she is and what she's capable of. I just hope that she allows herself to play.
Let's pass it.
Too good.
Well, she looked very confident in that rally. Daniela Sakkari.
Love 15.
And Seguel, we've seen it against Leila Fernandez. The forehand is definitely her better side. That's where she can do a little bit more damage. Okay, she can come up with a winner every now and then.
Yes, she's currently ranked in the 600s. She has been as high as 162. That was 6 years ago. This is a nice start, isn't it?
Really clean. Full striking from Sakkari. And she looks confident, doesn't she? I like that.
What an incredible start to this game for Maria. 3 winners. What I love, what I'm seeing right now is her having the self-confidence to pull the trigger on these points. You know, she can start off the match nervous, but she's come out here on fire. She looks relaxed, and it's great to see.
Game, Team Greece.
The ideal start.
Team Greece leads 2 games to love.
You have to feel a little for Seguel, who spends her tennis life on the lower tours. This is the highest ranked player she has ever met in her career. She never met a top 20 player, let alone someone at this level, at 8 in the world.
Yeah, and it's so different because the intensity is just so different every single ball. You have to get used to that. And you can only do that when you play those players a lot of times.
And Sakkari, a very different player to the one that Seguel met a few days ago in the lefty Leila Fernandez, where she lost a very sort of creditable 6-2, 6-3, and they had a really good go in the mix. They were just edged out by Fernandez and Diaz, but playing alongside Thomas Barrios. Vera, 10-8 in the deciding match tiebreak. Doesn't get too much closer than that. It's interesting how both Mark and yourself have not talked about forehands, backhands, or anything technical or anything part of a game. All about the inner, what's going on inside.
Well, we know that Maria, she can play tennis. You know, she has every shot in the book.
Clearly.
And the mental part is the toughest part in tennis. There's so many good tennis players out there, but they can't deliver in the big matches. And I'm sure Maria, I mean, she has delivered, certainly. I mean, she's been up in the top 10 for a couple of years now, or so many years. But it's a matter of taking that next step in her career.
Guys, I believe that 2024 is going to be a breakout year for Maria in the Grand Slam department. We know that she's been so consistent in all the other events, but winning that tournament in Mexico, that 1,000 event at the end of last year, I think it's kind of taken that gorilla off her shoulders and maybe, hopefully, will allow herself to relax a little bit more and play.
And it's all about the belief in yourself as well, isn't it? Do I believe I could be #1 in the world? Do I believe I can win Grand Slam titles? Because when you have a little bit of doubt, it's probably not going to happen. And Maria Sakkari, as we all know, she's one of the most popular players on the tour. So down to earth, says hello to everyone, hugs everyone, talks to everyone.
Team Greece.
Smooth sailing for Sakkari and Team Greece.
Team Greece leads 3 games to love.
Bravo Maria, καλή αρχή. Bravo. Πάμε.
Settling in very nicely. One feature of this Australian summer is about inspiring the next generation. This Hot Shots program, Babsy's been fab, hasn't it? Because the kids, they don't just get to sit and watch on the side, they get to get on the court about 5 or 10 minutes before the matches come on. I can't imagine what, I'm sure one day there's going to be a player out there winning the Australian Open saying, well, I hit up, you know, on the Rod Laver Arena or the Ken Rosewell, and that's why I want to play tennis.
Yeah, it's fantastic initiative from Tennis Australia, that Hot Shots program. A lot of the kids got free rackets, tennis rackets as well here at the United Cup. So hopefully one of them will make it up on the big stage.
I like the outfits. I never got an outfit like that when I started playing.
We'll get you one.
So the fourth day session here
find your
at
seats
the
quickly,
Sydney
please.
Olympic Park. And we're with Greece and Chile. And the second match in Group B. Winners will go through to the quarterfinals, plus the best 2 runners-up of the 6 groups. It's a little more straightforward this year. So every game counts in terms of sets and.
Ladies and gentlemen, take first available seat for now, please. Thank you.
Sure if she has the weapon, Seguel, against Maria Sakkari, who's covering the court so well. It's so difficult to get her out of the comfort zone.
Just wondering what best advice she's been given by Captain Phil, who was such a good player, a great player back in his day.
Oh, what a shame. Daniela set up the point beautifully on the forehand side, but just couldn't put that smash away. I mean, like you guys mentioned, she's in a 600. She's been around 160 in the world. Couldn't imagine how nervous she is right now, but one thing you can tell is just swing freely. You know, if I had to say one thing to her, is just swing freely, be aggressive. Don't be scared to go after it. You got nothing to lose.
Oh, that took the eye off the ball there. Prepared the points so well, Maria Sakkari. Just missed that volley. She had a smile about it.
That's quite a difficult shot. First match of the year.
Yeah.
Don't hit too many of those in practice,
I think that was the first volley of the year too.
I think we can emphasise enough that initial match, just, you know, the rust coming off and...
Yeah, I think that's what Seguel has to do, as Mark said. Just go for it. Go for the shots, come in whenever she can. Just try something different. I mean, the chances for her to beat Maria Sakkari are very low, so you might as well give it a go.
And on the bench there in Captain Field, she's got one of the most upbeat, happy, friendly, positive characters that you could ever wish for. It's going to be uphill. There's a huge ranking gulf between these two. It's a double break.
I like she goes on with her business. Maria Sakkari trying to really spread the ball. I love the depth she has in her shots as well, especially with the backhand. Backhand down the line seems to be going all right. So it looks confident.
I think this is a good opportunity for Maria. I mean, this is a match she should win. And it's an opportunity for her to maybe play a little bit more aggressive on the front foot. We know she can run side to side all day and so solid from the back of the court, but her Achilles heel in the past has been when she had to create her own pace and move forward to finish off points that she's built, she has missed. There's times when a lot of these girls have sliced the ball to a forehand, sliced the ball, and that's the time you need to accelerate, and she's decelerated because she's gotten so tight. So it's a good opportunity for her to accelerate through the ball and really be aggressive today.
Mark, you spent a couple of weeks with Maria last week on the tour. I remember I saw you guys together in Berlin. What have you been working on with her in particular?
So she asked me to help her during the grass court season. So we had, pretty much 4 weeks there. And as you mentioned, couldn't find a nicer human being. Such a incredible person. And she's a hard worker. My focus, what I wanted to add is a little more of the offense to her defense that she already has. I think she's one of the best athletes on the women's tour, if not the best, in my opinion, as far as movement and strength. But if we can get her to build up the points, maybe add a little bit more shape on the ball, because I felt like she's hitting the ball too flat at times. So I wanted her to add a little bit more shape and safety to the ball so she can feel like she can accelerate and still have that safety. Because a lot of time it's so flat and so low over the net. And when you do get nervous, you definitely want to get away from that. There's a much better point from Daniela there. Great hitting off the forehand side. And also on the serve, you know, she's got a good serve, but I believe it could be better. I believe she can get a little more pace on the ball if she jumps into it, but also let that racket head go. I feel like she guides the ball a little bit on the serve and doesn't allow her racket to follow through all the way through her body. You know, and she's got a few more kilometers left to add.
You were busy in that grass court season, Mark. There was plenty to do there.
I mean, I did want to keep it simple. I just, you know, a couple of things. I'm getting a little much more technical now, but I was definitely trying to keep things simple. The last thing you want Maria to do is overthink on the court.
Team Grace going really well in this opening set.
Team Grace leads 5 games to 0.
It's almost as if Mark's suggesting, Babsy, that once she sort of gets the few nerves out the way initially, there's an opportunity to try a few things here, which you don't often get, do you?
No.
Given the ranking golf, you know, she's not really in any severe danger of potentially losing this match unless something dramatic happens. So it is an opportunity.
It certainly is an opportunity, and you know, it's very different if you practice something, you know, on a practice court, or if you try to implement that in a match. And if you're feeling that comfortable, and if you're you know, really in control of a match, that's when you have to try things out, come to the net maybe a little bit more. And it was interesting what Mark said about the serve of Maria Sakkari. There's definitely a few more kilometers she has up her sleeve, but also the placement, I think, is really key for her.
Entonces, este juego trata de mantener tu saque, trata de estar igual, siempre alerta, levantada, que no se te pasen rollos por la cabeza. Tú puedes hacerlo. Tú le estabas devolviendo el saque a Nicolás Jarry. O sea, tú tienes esa capacidad. Si puedes hacerla florecer. Bien.
Chile's #1, Daniela Seguel, looking a little shell-shocked, I have to say, in the opening 20 minutes here. Understandably so. First time she's ever played a top 10 player in her decade-and-a-half-long career. Tough times for the 31-year-old from Santiago.
Yeah, so far she hasn't even been close, really, in any of the games, has she? I think 30-all was the maximum, 2 points, pretty much, in the game. I can hear some fans from Chile, though, trying to get her going. She doesn't get a lot of opportunities as well, Seguel, doesn't she? Because of the depth of Maria Sakkari. I feel like she's always, or most of the time, just reacting. Can't really go to those sidelines, move Sakkari around.
Love 30.
On the lower tours, she's had some success. I don't think we should ignore that. 16 titles. And a win over the world number 62 at the time, Tatiana Maria, who was on the German bench this week. But one of 4 top 100 wins that she's had in her career. Well, Maria broke to love in the opening service game of Seguel. We knew there was trouble afoot, and it's been very much the case over this opening half an hour or so. And Team Greece with a chance to wrap up this opening set. A perfect set for Maria Sakkari. Team Greece take the opener by 6 games to love.
6 games to love.
Well, it couldn't be a better start for Maria Sakkari in this match. 25 minutes this first set lasted. She was in complete control.
It'll be interesting to see if we do see her be a little more experimental in the second.
Yep.
I wonder if some opportunities will open up for Daniela. He really is a grandfather, isn't he? You know, he's the grandfather of Nicolas Jarry, but he's taking such good care of her. You can see that as a real sort of...
And he's so passionate about the sport. He's done so much for the sport as well. He was one of the founders of the ATP. He's been the ATP president for a few years. Let's have a look at some of the numbers. It's pretty clear here what we see in favor for Maria Sakkari. 3 out of 3 break points converted. A lot more aggressive on the winners department, in the winners department as well. One thing maybe she could uplift a little bit is her first serve percentage, but she played some powerful tennis with great depth. Barely any unforced errors for the Greek.
It's a real highlights reel for the Greek #1, getting her new season campaign underway.
So very straightforward first set there. Stefanos Tsitsipas is happy, a little clap there for his teammate. But, you know, when you win the set 6-love, you have to keep that concentration level up, that's for sure. I don't think Maria Sakkari will run into too much troubles today. But what I would like to see for her, or with her in the second set, is that she really tries something different. Maybe come to the net a little bit, throw in a slice, throw in a drop shot. Now it's the time to practice those things.
Game, team race. New balls, please.
First love hold for Sakkari. Continuing the good work from
second set.
that first set. Mark was interesting when he talked about, I mean, we've watched Maria since coming out of the juniors, and particularly kept an eye on her because obviously knowing Mum was a player, so you noticed them a little bit more. Very stiff in the hands on the backhand side. And Mark was talking about, you know, he was just trying to get a little more shape. And you notice that stiffness when it's a big match and it gets tight.
Yeah,
and you feel she's fighting the backhand.
Yeah, and that's the wing which sometimes, holds her back a little bit. That backhand, when she swings freely, it's fine. Sometimes I feel like she doesn't have the proper rotation when she takes the racket back, that she doesn't really turn. And it's true, then needs a little bit more shape on the backhand. So far today, it's been fine, but it's a matter of, you know, when she gets a little bit nervous, how she plays. She tells it herself, shape on the ball.
That's nice play. So now a chance to head to the Greek team zone. Mark, you're with Stefanos.
Yes, hi guys, I'm with Steph here. Steph, you must be very pleased with what you've seen so far from Maria.
I mean, she had a great start. I don't have any complaints so far. She's playing great tennis. I know probably the opponent is someone that Maria is not used to play on the tour, and perhaps much further in the ranking than her. But so far she's been executing here perfectly. She has been strong in the shots that are far away from her. Great control, great racket head speed. Doesn't overplay, which is great. There were a few times in the past that I saw Maria overplay sometimes, and she seems to be in control so far.
I know that you've been very vocal about Australia being like a second home for you, having a lot of support, whether you're playing in Perth, Sydney or Melbourne. You must be very happy to be back here.
Of course, I got goosebumps entering this court a few moments ago. You know, I saw all these Greek flags around the court, spread out, and so many Greeks that came to support us. It always brings great memories and feelings, whether that's in Sydney or Melbourne or even Perth. I just enjoy the tennis that is being played in Australia. It's one of the best seasons of the year to be a tennis player, in my opinion.
Last question, Steph. How are you feeling physically, and are you ready to go?
So far, we still haven't decided yet, but this decision will be taken in a few minutes from now. There are a few chances I might not play, and there are a few more chances that I might, so I'm kind of 50-50 so far. We'll wait and see.
Well, if you do, Steph, I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Yes, Stefanos struggling with a back injury in the off-season and slated to play Nicolas Jarry, a top 20 player from Chile. So it's difficult, isn't it, when you're in two minds as to whether you play or not. Maybe we won't see him for the singles, who knows, but we might see him for the doubles.
I'm sure he knows already if he's going to play.
I'm sure he does. But
he sounded a little bit flat.
He did sound a bit flat. Well, it's not a great way to start the season. Sakkari on the march again here. Oops.
I think she was a bit hesitant there. She thought it was going to go long and then tried something different.
Just a few gremlins, start of the season. Oops. Oops. Well, there's many in the stadium who would love to see Daniela get a game on the board here.
I wonder what happens when she gets on the scoreboard.
Yes.
He's got some stories, hasn't he?
Oh, he
From
would.
back in the day.
I would love to sit down with him for an hour or two.
advantage, Team Chile.
Especially on the ad court, she doesn't. Seguel doesn't seem to place her serve precisely. Doesn't hurt Sakkari at all. When you have so little opportunities, you just want to grab them. I can feel for her. It's that consistency from Maria Sakkari that's causing Seguel the most trouble. Doesn't get any free points here.
Well done.
Yes.
Trying to pinch this game is almost like the equivalent of her winning a set in this kind of company. It's a huge task.
Advantage, Team Chile. Team Chile.
Muy bien,
Game
mantener
over.
esa misma intensidad. Intensidad, muy bien.
That's a lovely moment for Daniela Seguel. Joy and relief.
Yeah, I wonder what's more dominant, what feeling. Probably the relief. She got a bit of help here from Sakkari, a couple of unforced errors.
Australia's always been a special place for Maria. It was the first time she'd made the second week of the Slam through to the fourth round, and that was back in 2020. So often she'd been sort of perennial third round loser, and it was really starting to get into her head. And of course, Maria twice a Grand Slam semi-finalist in Paris, where she had a match point against the eventual champion Barbora Krejcikova. That was one of the moments where she got very tense and super stressed. And then later on that year in New York at the US Open, also reaching the semis with chances to move to the final. Just only the third blemish on her report card.
Game, Team Greece.
So on serve in the second set.
Team Greece leads 2-2.
Well, we're out here at the Olympic Park in Sydney's inner west, but players are staying in town, and many have views of arguably one of the finest harbours that you will ever set eyes on. New Year's Eve, the Harbour Bridge, the coat hanger as the locals like to call it, was ablaze with fireworks. With millions flocking to this Aussie city, including the Greeks. They were under the bridge, couldn't get any closer. Opening match of the fourth day session. Chile taking on Team Greece. Team Canada currently topping the groups. And the winner of each group plus the two best runners-up will compete for the quarterfinals a little later on this week. Sometimes being out there as a professional tennis player isn't all about rankings. And for Seguel, the fact that she's even still playing is quite an achievement. Because, Gabsi, we were talking about it in a match against Leylah Fernandez 8 years ago. She was playing in a final in Santiago. Her father was in the stands, and he had a heart attack and very sadly passed away. And she's actually got a number of tattoos, but one of the tattoos that she's got is in memory of him. So she always feels like he's on court with her. And she said she could have quit, but her family wanted her to carry on. So even just, yes, she's 600 in the world plus, but the fact that she's here says an awful lot, doesn't it?
Yeah. She's taken about a year off. But then just said, oh, her dad would have wanted her to continue to play tennis.
It's one of the saddest stories, I have to say, I think I've ever heard. And there's been some tough ones over the years with a lot of the players. rather puts tennis and winning and losing into perspective.
Yep. When I found out about it, and that was only a few days ago, I just couldn't believe it, really.
Many would have stopped. It would have been too painful to play. She might pick up another game here. She's going really well in this second set. First time against a top 10 player.
(40-50).
Too strong.
Yeah, I mean, if you have that much depth on the return, Seguel was pushed way behind the baseline. Didn't have a chance. But she still has one chance to win the service game. She changed her position on the ad court, didn't she? On the serve, Seguel.
Guys, things have certainly gotten more interesting. I think Daniela's starting to relax a little bit. Of course, getting that first game on the board is huge. But here from 40 love up, back to deuce. Maria starting to get some, that was better shape on the ball, on the forehand side from Maria. When you've got that much strength, you don't need to go closer lines with, you know, that spin on the ball, the way it's coming off the court. It puts a lot of pressure on the opponent, and you more than likely will get a short reply where you can step up to hit.
Advantage, Team Greece. Yes.
They're being more competitive out there now. If I was Seguel, I would definitely target the backhand of Maria Sakkari.
It just took her a set, didn't it, to sort of calibrate to this kind of level.
That's a very solid point from Daniela now. Definitely looking a lot more comfortable in this match and from the back of the baseline. And now Maria's the one who's starting to make, you know, get some unforced errors creeping in, and she's overplaying shots.
Too good. Once again, another long service game for Seguel. Trying to hold on here, early stages of the second set.
10 forehand winners from Maria Sakkari, really trying to dictate today. But having a little bit more trouble in this second set.
Advantage, Team Chile.
That's Babs, you pushed on, you know, for Daniela to go to the backhand, which I agree. But on the backhand side, a lot of time Maria doesn't finish over her shoulder. She kind of like stops 3/4, and it's just a very flat ball.
Yeah, it sometimes seems like it's just half a shot, isn't it?
Yeah, almost like a bunt. You know, instead of getting under and accelerating from starting from low, finishing high. I understand her backhand's more of a naturally flat shot. That's where I would like to see her starting low and getting a little bit more arch on the ball on the backhand side. And when she, you know, when you're stepping in the court and a little closer to her shoulder length, she hits through that beautifully. But on the low ball, she tends to struggle.
What a forehand slice in the defense from Sakkari. Once again, she's showing what a great athlete she is.
Advantage, Team Greece.
Have a look at that. So tricky.
Still going in this game with a 5th use.
Yeah, she's just waited a little bit too long on that forehand. Sakkari just watching what Seguel was doing on the other side of the court. It's definitely this moment in a match where the momentum could shift a little bit, or has shifted already. You always get a chance at some point against anyone. Been playing well on those deuce points, Seguel. One double fault, a couple of unforced errors. Didn't move on that one.
It's going to be a long way back from here.
Team Greece leads 3-1.
But it's interesting always when you watch matches, you know, and somebody or a player is very comfortable, wins the set 6-love. What was the beginning of the second set? A lot of times the concentration level might go down a little bit, and gives the opponent a bit of an opportunity to get back into the match.
This will go very quickly now. Maria, as well as spending time with her family, you forget how much tennis players are on the road. They have a life off court, or try to. And for a long time now, she's been dating Konstantinos, who happens to be the Prime Minister's son.
Yes.
So it's quite hard for her. I mean, she's one of the most famous sports stars in Greece. Quite hard for them to keep a low profile.
30.
That racket head speed sometimes on that second serve could be just a little bit faster.
It's counterintuitive, isn't it, really? You think, a lot of people I think would think, the club players think you'd slow it down.
Oh, that's got to be faster.
Got to speed it up.
Tell you guys, next time I'm off to the Greek islands for a holiday, I know who I'm calling.
Yeah.
With that contact.
Exactly. Lovely. Lovely.
40, 50.
So there might be another nice boat waiting for you, Mark. You got a favourite Greek island?
No, God, there's thousands, and it's so beautiful. You couldn't go wrong. You just, drop a pin anywhere, and I'll be in heaven, I'm sure. Definitely now that married with kids, it's definitely not going to be Mykonos, that's for sure.
No, yeah, you might want to.
Game. Team Greece.
Now, rocking along here, and there's Maria Sakkari, Team Greece in charge in
Greece
this
leads
tie.
4 games to 1.
You a Greek island fan?
I am, but I don't find the time to go there. I have been to Mykonos one year, a few years back actually, and that was in the school holidays of the Australians, and we just saw Australians there. The Greek Australians were all in Mykonos, which was interesting. Yeah, I was thinking, oh, why am I going?
It's quite a party island, isn't it?
It is quite a party, and we spent a couple of days there. Then we went to Santorini, which was beautiful. You have to have seen that, and spent a few days in Athens, but I'm dying to go back as well.
Okay.
A quiet island, maybe if Flip can find out which one to go to, I'm in.
Yeah, maybe see there. I'm a fan as well.
Yeah, let's Flip. You organize a catamaran, a big boat, and we're on board.
He's looking at us up from his little bench courtside.
Too much pressure.
Bemused.
I was actually looking at Tom, speaking to Maria. I was trying to pick up what he was saying. They were discussing certain things on the backhand side that Maria wasn't happy about missing, and Tom's just telling her to get under the ball a little bit more, giving it more shape, more height over the net. She was just saying that the balls felt they were dying a little bit coming off the racket.
And one thing is, which is a little bit worrying, is I still see Stefanos Tsitsipas in the stands, and somebody who I don't see is Despina Papamikael. So, is that the answer?
Yeah, normally he'd be inside warming up right now with his only maybe a couple more games to go, but I think you're right. Unfortunately, we won't be seeing Steph in the singles, but let's see.
Law 15.
Well, the snap could really get away rather quickly from the world. Number 668. He's been an awful lot higher.
Law 30.
First time ever playing a top 10 player. Always knew it was going to be tricky for the 31-year-old.
Fue
pésima esa. Pésima.
that shot right there has been the one that has given her trouble, because she got under that beautifully and really accelerated from underneath it.
Team Greece.
And the only uncomfortable situation was probably for Sakkari that fourth game in the second set. She came up with a few unforced errors. She probably was feeling, I wouldn't say tight or nervous, but just not 100%. But once she went up 3-1, one-way traffic.
Serving now to give Team Greece the lead in this tie with Team Chile. One of the great benefits playing a team competition to start the season is you are guaranteed matches. If you play a regular knockout event, you might get one singles and maybe one doubles. Worst case scenario here, she can guarantee herself 4 matches, a couple of singles and high level ones as well, and a couple of mixed doubles if she wants to.
Great pickup. I think Seguel didn't expect that one from Sakkari. She's covering the court so well. Ball is coming back one extra time. Look at that feel.
She's an extraordinary athlete. You never really want to be sort of next to her if you happen to be in the player hotel gym, because
no chance.
It's very intimidating.
I would walk back out again.
Yes,
I'd have a chat to her, but then leave. Yes.
As I go back and have a cup of tea and a muffin and say maybe tomorrow.
Imagine you're picking up the 2-kilo dumbbells, you know, and she's there with the 10-kilo ones.
It's been a quiet start for playing captain Petros, who is one of the brothers of Stefanos in this tennis-playing family. And of course was a very good player back in the day, the Soviet Union. So it's been pretty smooth sailing over the last 65 minutes or so for the Greek number one. Sakkari now at match point.
Yes.
There's just been a few. Those are the sort of in fact, she's hit a double fault in pretty much every single service game bar one. just want to emphasise how important this scoreline is. Every game, every set counts. And if there was to be a count back,
True.
if she can close here, this may be important. Just drifted. So a first break point opportunity for Team Chile.
See, it's a tough angle for me to see from here, but that's a shot that I believe doesn't need to be deep at all. She's opened up the court. There's a good angle and opportunity for just need a cross court, but short, to get the player running off the court. A couple of times now she's missed, and she's gone for depth on that shot, and I think that's a mistake.
This time she used the shorter cross court.
Yes.
And Mark, the point you, if I'm correct, you've been making throughout this match is because she hits such a big ball on that forehand side, she doesn't need to play so close to the lines.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, a lot of the time she can play at 85% of her strength.
Advantage, Team Greece.
Yeah, but if you do want to rip it, that's fine. But, you know, maybe give yourself 1.5 meters inside the line. A little bit of cushion for yourself.
Team Greece once again at match point. Team Greece are off to the perfect start.
6-1.
68 minutes was all that was required. And Sakkari winning comfortably, 6-love, 6-1. She puts her country up in this tie with Chile. And I think well appreciated there by Captain Theo.
Yep, for sure. She was just the better player out there today. And what a way to start the new season for Maria Sakkari. Looked so comfortable out there. Was never really in danger in this match. Was in complete control for most of the points. So Team Greece, I'm sure, will be very happy with this performance. Straightforward.
Nice to get that first one out of the way there, isn't it?
Totally.
And certainly an important win, particularly if we're not going to see Stefanos Tsitsipas in the men's singles, because Chile will be the favourites. And it looks as if once again we'll come back to the mixed, and where we will see certainly Maria a little later on.
Yeah, unbeaten in the mixed doubles, Maria Sakkari and Stefanos Tsitsipas. So
they are off and running. So let's hear what Maria's got to say. She's with Mark down at the court side.
Well, Maria, congratulations. You've given Team Greece a perfect start. First match of the year can also be a little bit tricky, but you must be very happy and pleased with the way you played.
Yeah, of course. It doesn't really feel like the first match of the season. It almost feels like, you know, it's the last season. I feel like I played my last match of my previous season, like yesterday. So that's a good thing, I guess, because I feel like, you know, maybe not much sore, but yeah, I feel good. You know, I'm very happy that I gave my team the first point, and you know, I have full belief in the team. So super excited for what's coming.
Absolutely. You had mixed year last year, but you ended up with an amazing win, the first 1,000 event in Mexico. That must give you a lot of confidence and self-belief in going to 2024.
For sure, I think that winning that title was huge for me. It was something that I was looking for. It was something that I really needed, you know, something I was missing, let's say. So I'm very pleased that, you know, I managed to find a way to turn things around last season, because it was, it was tough, I'm not gonna lie. And, you know, I managed to finish the season top 10 for the third time, so that was very, very big for me. But, you know, more than anything, I was just a happy person. And, you know, as you said, very happy with myself.
I know you've always spoken about, you've always enjoyed playing in Australia. Kind of feels like a second home. You get amazing support, whether you're playing in Perth, Melbourne, or even Sydney. You must be very happy to see Greeks come out to support you guys today. How does it feel?
It's, you know, we've said it so many times that it's our home tournament. It's like playing at home. There are so many Greeks. You know, you walk down the street in any city in Australia, and you just you have to be careful with what you say. So it's just amazing to have, you know, to see so many Greek flags, so many people that, you know, come out and support us. And, you know, we want to stay here as long as we can, and just you know, bring the whole Greek community of Sydney out here to support us.
Maria, congratulations on an amazing start. I look forward to watching you in the mixed, and thank you so much. Guys, Maria Sakkari.
Well, they let up Perth last year, didn't they? They had a whale of a time, and then were beaten when they came here to Sydney in the finals. But they certainly enjoyed themselves. And, interesting couple of things from that interview. One, how important Guadalajara was in terms of self-belief and confidence, but also she's had a 6-week pre-season or break from the tour, that she feels that it actually hasn't been that long.
No, I mean, she would have been playing so many tournaments last year, but 6 weeks off is not 6 weeks not practicing, especially when you're Maria Sakkari. She probably had a week off and still did some fitness stuff in that week. And she's a busy woman, but the most important thing for her is that she feels good and that she's happy. Today, again, it was a perfect start for her in this year. She was in control of all the points. I mean, you can build so much on that. And the good thing for this year, if you're looking ahead, she doesn't have a lot to defend at the Grand Slam event. So she's number 8 in the world now. She could easily, you know, crack the top 5, maybe the top 3, maybe even more.
Numbers not really significant, but we'll get you to run over them anyway.
Let's always like to look at the unforced errors, because I was taught don't make any unforced errors when I was little. 24, a few more on the side of Seguel there, but then everything else in favor, especially look at the forehand winners of Sakkari. That's where she's been dominating. Also, the first serve percentage went up throughout the match. In the first set, it was only 50%, so that's good news. You have to take these matches when you're in such control to practice certain things. Maria Sakkari has done it every now and then. Today against Seguel, she can be very, very happy with this performance.
Babsy, you never made any unforced errors. Thanks for your company. Great to be alongside you. Next up, it's the men's singles.